Okay, so we're here with Jody again. We worked with her horse one before. I think we said at the first of the video. He kind of backslid a little bit and got a little bit disrespectful again. Jody, tell her kind of what he was doing.
Once I would get him in, he would start backing really fast without me asking, and then I couldn't get him back in. Even working him, he would just be resistant. He wouldn't want to go in. When I would get him in, he just would back and would, pull me right out of the trailer, basically. So.
Yeah, and we saw when we first got here again today, he was actually maybe a little bit worse with pulling than the first time we worked with him, and so he had a little bit of resistance there.
Yeah.
And so you can see the importance of the black and white cues and getting their respect and being a leader for them.
Yes.
So what's the thing you probably thought you were not doing that made him do that?
I would say probably just not getting on him enough, maybe the rope, or looking back at him. I tend to look back at him right when he's, stops or anything like that.
That's a good point, because when you turn around and look at a horse, when you're asking them for forward motion, and then you turn around and look at them, most of them will want to stop or at least slow down. So. See, he's got that attitude right when you start. It's like that, shaking his head's like, I'm going to disrespect you, and I'm going to probably get away with it for a minute. Yeah, so see right there how he didn't even look at the trailer?
Yeah.
So we just got to get him back to where that's that comfortable spot where he looks forward to going into. Okay, so this time, see if you can put your shoulder right on that door of the trailer, just so he can't pass you right there. Yeah, see he's just totally wanting to avoid that, and he doesn't even know why. So if on the video you can see this horse, he knows how to lunge, he knows how to do all this stuff, but if you watch that head shaking, that right there, that's a disrespect thing. That's a I don't want to work, and so I'm going to shake my head and try to be aggressive and try to be the dominant one.
And he does this where he won't let go.
Okay, so can you see what's going on right there? Can you see that you're working as harder than he is?
Yeah.
And that's why you're getting really tired doing this.
Yeah.
So let me show you a little secret here. If you remember that he needs to be the one doing the work.
Yeah.
So right here, come on this side of me if you could. So right here, I'm going to stand here. I'm not going to let him go around me, or me go around him. I'm going to have him go around me. So see, a second ago it was both of you kind of doing a little dance, little circle. You see how he's going around me now? Yeah. So I'm not going to.
He's moving.
Yeah, and I'm not going to get tired because I'm just kind of walking this little circle right here. Okay, well, he wants to stop. I'm not going to say no. I don't want you to stop yet. So as long as he's doing this little. As long as he's doing this little head flip and that's just a sign that he's going, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And every time he tries to come to you before you ask, that's him with his agenda instead of yours. So every time he does that, it's a great problem to have, but you want it to be when you want him to come, not when he wants to. So right there, I'm just going to keep, see just my cues already. His head's lowering down a little bit. So I think one of the problems is he's kind of pushing you around and working you instead of you working him. He'll kind of fade in, try to crowd you a little bit, and if he does that, you can just do this and push him back out again. See how all I had to do is just kind of, and he'll get his distance again. So I'm just going to have him come up here and just see what he's going to do. So this is kind of what he was doing before. So we'll yield him. See, all this pulling and jumping around, you want that to totally go away. You just want him to just be nice and relaxed. And as long as he will relax, See how this little tiny circle I'm turning and he's just moving around me?
Yeah.
So I think with him, he can tell when he's kind of got control of you and when whoever.
Yeah, he knows.
See right there, he wants to do it when he's ready. He's going, okay, I'm tired of working already. I'm going to come to you because that's what I've been taught. But it has to be your idea. See how much lighter that is to get him to go now? Now he's not being told, he's kind of relaxing a little bit now. But what we've got to do is get him to where he quits fighting that when we ask him to come forward. Oh. So what I'll do is see if we can get him. I want him to come forward off of this instead of backwards. So every time he'll take a step forward, I'll take that pressure away from him. That's not going to do any good because you'll have to go again. No. See how he's trying all of his efforts. He's going, that kind of sucked. Okay, you see that? Just total disrespect right there. So he's got to learn that that means forward. Pressure comes back when he jumps out. Got to come forward. Oh. He's pretty muscly. Okay, so I don't want to tap him that hard on the butt, but as long as he backs up, he's got to learn that that is not the answer to this. Stop. We'll see if he'll. Okay, so this right here, we're going to take some extra time and just let him, because he got pretty. Okay, that's a good sign right there. It's just something that's dangerous is what it is.
Yeah, because before at least I can get them in and then I can move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, and then a couple times he probably got away with backing out, and then he's, oh, I can get through this, so I can get back out again. But we don't want to have to keep correcting him to go forward. We just want him to go in there and stay. So next time we get him in, if he'll hop in, I'll try to get in there with him and just rub him up in the front of there. See, there's just no need to get all upset, bud. This is the thing with a horse like this. He's not afraid. He knows what to do. It's just if he can test you and get away with it, he will.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just ask him to get out. See how the pressure comes? And then it goes away. So now we've at least got him to where he doesn't and just head backwards. I can tap him hard enough that he goes, okay, the answer's forward. There's not even a reason to be nervous in here, is there? So nobody likes to snap him on the tail like I did.
Yeah.
But with him, if you don't get your point across, he'll just get worse and worse and worse. So what you want to do...
Very disrespectful.
He is very disrespectful, especially on the ground. But what the problem you run into, and with the video, well, I'll say this because a lot of people that I do this kind of stuff for that have problems with them, they get really upset with me when I reach out and snap one on the tail like that. And what they have to understand is, quite frankly, they probably caused the problem. And now we have to make it to be where he respects again. And then for some reason they think that you have to always do this with them. But what you want to happen is you want to get their respect. Then all this goes away and he just knows that he's expected to get in.
No, it didn't bother me.
Yeah, so that's, but there, you know, that, I mean, I smacked.
Someone can get hurt if he doesn't.
Yeah, it's dangerous. And you see now, he was getting away with it until I got after him a little bit. Now see how respectful he's being? Kinda. But
I'll take the whip. We don't need that.
yeah, but that's the thing with a horse like this. He's big, he's strong, and if he does get a little bit of away with some stuff, it can get really, really ugly. So, okay, so now I'd like to have him get in and stay forward. So I'll try to get him to, but we'll get him jumping in good. And I'm going to see if I can ask him out without getting out with him. And then I'll yield him, and then we'll just ask him to come back in. Okay, that was a little better.
Yeah.
No. Of course, I put down the... Okay, so he bailed out. Now, I kind of lost my stick, or I could have just kept him in, but you see how easy he came back in?
Yeah.
So he's got his little threshold here where he stands for a few minutes, and then he goes, okay, I've had enough. We don't want that. We want him to stand in here and just go, oh, I'm good in here. It's okay. So I'm going to give him the chance to start backing out. When he does, I'll just tap him back forward. Make sure he knows that until I ask him to, he needs to stand. Okay, so now I'm just going to stand here, and every time he tries to back out, I'll just remind him he's got to stay in. We'll just kind of pet him with this. Even when he was in here before, he was trying to stick his head around and and now he's just kind of going, you know, it kind of feels good, because out there was a little bit now. He tried to back up right there, so I'll just ask him forward, really light, and bring him back in. He's licking and chewing right now. So now what I'd really like to do is get rid of this and just have him come off the pressure of the rope. So you can see that you don't always have to have that. So now all I got to do is point and bring him back in. Now, I will warn you with this, until he gets really good, don't ever put your arm in there and pet him. Make sure you're up where he can't smash your arm and break it or something. Okay, so now what we got to do is when we open this, we don't want him to and get us with this. So I'm not going to totally open it yet. I'm just going to release it. Make sure what I'd like to do is get up there to where, before he turns his head around, okay, there's your first divider close. Okay, so this was a nice thing for him, so we'll back him out. If you had it hooked up, I'd say let's go for a 10-mile ride and just let him ride in here. Has he ever ridden in this trailer? One thing you could do too, Jody, is if you want, fold that front window down just so he's got kind of a look out there.
In there?
What's that?
Do you want me to do it while he's in there?
Yeah, you can open it. I want this opening of this divider to make him think that that's okay to get out. So when you undo it, just keep it right here and then just pet him. Because a lot of horses, especially if they're not really relaxed in here, a lot of them, as soon as they hear that latch, they'll bail.
Yeah.
And we don't want him to do that. We just want him to stand there nice and quiet. And then I'm going to come in and pet him. Okay. There you go. It's a big thing for him. Being your squeegee boss. So you'll notice he had about a 30-second threshold here, and now he's getting to where we can kind of keep him here, and he's at least not real super nervous.
Yeah.
So get him back up again. Every time he takes a step back, you just lead him forward and pet him. He's got that backward thing where he pulls on you like he does. That's going to kind of go through to everything you do. If he pulls back tight at a trailer, that's why, is because he doesn't have respect for that pressure. So if we can get him to where he'll respect that, then he won't fight you like that. And that gets him really riled up when he starts. Okay, so that was a way better backup right there. Now I'm not gonna even, I'm just gonna see what he does right here. Oh, you okay? Okay, he came right back in again. So we'll just point right here and pet him. See where the licking and chewing came? This has got to be the most relaxing place in his whole life right now. Mm-hmm. And once you get him to where it is, he will not care about this. See how much quieter he's standing now? I'm not really getting him all the way out yet. I want him to really get comfortable in here. Yeah. And then we're going to unload him completely. And if he gives us any resistance at all, we'll work him a little bit and then let him get back in and rest.
I just wanted to get to the point where I don't have to work him so hard to just.
Well, you shouldn't have to work him at all. Yeah. And that's what we need to get him to. But that's why I was telling you, if he goes through all the groundwork stuff, which all we're doing is just basically saying we want to trailer load you. Yeah. So you can see you got to be quick. But even this right here, I don't mind because I patted him on the butt, and as soon as he went to there, it all went away. Yeah. So none of this is a bad thing. We just want the end result for him to just stand there and not even try that stuff. And then you can do this kind of stuff. Okay, so you see what's going on here. Literally you do this and get him to where that means nothing to him. And then when you do want to go in and get him, you just walk in and get him. So he's still got that little turn his head around, but that's going to take a little time because that's how he was taught to get out.
Yeah. But at least he didn't spin really fast.
Yeah.
And try to.
Yeah. I don't know of anybody alive that is going to stand in his way and win. But I love how he gets to right there and stops on his own. Mm-hmm. And then he licks and chews. So it's going to be me that actually asks him to go. See how he leaned forward instead of backwards? He's still a little resistant right there, so we'll just keep the pressure there. Release it when he comes. See, I don't have the stick now, so I don't have near the reach for him, so I just want him to just do it without that. Okay, there's the resistance. That's not a good place to be, I promise you. Okay, there's no belling now. You notice how I'm just kind of throwing the leader up over his back?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll ask him. I don't worry about this getting wrapped around his legs or anything. He's got to get used to all this stuff, so. Good boy. Okay, so we'll go ahead and out. Now watch the no resistance this time. That's really, really good. I really expected him to stand in there and just stomp.
Yeah.
But I think he's finally realized that, hey, this is a pretty nice place to be. So I would say, just make sure when you do this, just like I said, just open and close this 10 times before you ever even let him in, let him get out. See how there's no reaction there at all now? He still wants to turn his head. There, see, that time he didn't even try to come out.
No, he just looked at you.
Okay, no pressure here at all, and he is not coming out. See, normally when he walked away from his head, he wanted to just whip around. He still wants to, but he's not forcing it. Okay, so again, you got this much play on the lead rope is all. Now we'll let him just stand there for a second and then watch this. So remember, so before we couldn't even do this without that stick. We had to be behind him and kind of, but now you just point. There's all the way in with the divider. So I didn't even have to tap him on the butt that time.
He got into place.
Okay, so now it's this. I wouldn't recommend this, but he's being pretty quiet. If he were to throw a fit, man, it'd snap your...
Yeah.
You ready? Good boy. Good job, bud. Good job. Totally quiet and relaxed now. Now this backing out is just so easy and light for him. But I am asking him instead of him just going. Okay, so let's do this. Just go ahead and kind of walk him in a circle. And then go ahead and step up right here when you come up to the trailer and just go like this.
Okay.
Okay. And then you just walk in with him, and if he tries to stop, just tap him on the butt, and I'll try to help you if he tries to back up. And remember to point up in with your left hand. Hold the loose end in your right hand. There you go. Yeah, just like that. Kiss to him. There you go. Now just step up on there. Kiss to him. Now point.
Did it.
Good.
There, perfect. Now just pet him right there. Good job. That's exactly how you want it to be. Do you ever think you'd be that quiet right there?
No.
Now, just so you can kind of get used to how this feels, when you get ready to unload him, back him 2 or 3 steps and then bring him back in, so he knows that you're kind of in control of that. Okay? Because before he's kind of muscled you around and backed out when he. Now just bring him right back. There you go. Perfect. Good. 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 Good.
You know how to be a good boy.
He also knows how not to. He's a Jekyll and Hyde, huh? Nice. Okay, so you see, even 10, 15 minutes ago, even when we back, he still had some resistance. Now he's just going, okay,
Yeah.
as soon as I feel that, I'll come back in. And that's where we got to keep him. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and back him out. Nice and easy. Now just point right back in again. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful.
That feels good. A lot better.
No cuss words today?
No cuss words. No vomiting.
No sweating. You're not even sweating yet.
Oh, I'm sweating, but it's just because of the heat and the nervousness.
See, he didn't even know. In his 6 years, he did not even know that he could go in there and relax. It wasn't even really his fault. He just didn't know it. Just walk up there like, yes, I'm your leader, and we're just going to go have a good old time. Now just keep going. Just walk like you walk right there. Now just keep it there. Cluck. There you go. Now walk up. Point and turn and look at him right there, and just point.
Problem with looking back.
Yeah, and there's not a horse in the world, and that's why people that try to pull their horses in like this, when you're doing this, the horse is resistant because it's an eye-to-eye thing.
Yeah.
And when you're pulling and looking at him, he automatically is going, I think I need to back off.
Yeah.
But if you can just be,
I'm in trouble.
yeah, so if you can just be confident, walk up there and then just turn like this and go, I mean, it becomes automatic. I mean, that's as good as it gets. And we saw some major resistance in him at first, but those are the times when you as a human think, okay, I've got to learn this and I've got to get the cues down, because if I don't, we can backslide.
Yeah.
And with him, as long as you can get him to do this, if you did this every day with him for a week and we're able to just keep him doing this, and don't be afraid to lunge him at first.
Yeah.
Take him out and just work with him a little bit, Don't even bring him to the trailer. Just work him right there, and then just walk him over and go in and then pet him. That'll make all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
And if you get a chance to hook a truck up, take him for a ride.
Yeah.
When you get back, because what's going to happen is you'll take him. They ride great when you're driving because the motion kind of keeps them nice and quiet. It's usually when you stop, and if you pull back in the thing and he knows the other horses are he'll probably start. So you just open it up, do the same thing, unload him. Next day, take him out again.
Yeah.
The thing that gets him over that stuff is using them and taking them. That's why he's being so good to ride, and he was so bad here, is because he'd never done this. They'll all get to where they start second guessing you, and so you just kind of try to change it up all the time. So like if the first thing you do every time you load him is just get in and back him up, he's going to start thinking that that's what he's supposed to do. Yeah. There, that was perfect. So as long as you do that a couple times with him before he backs out, that'll keep him from getting in that mode where he just says, I'm going. Nice. Now there's no stick and string there, there's no whip or anything, so just that alone is a big improvement for him. Nice. Now this time, if you want to back him out, see if you can back him halfway and then ask him to get back in again. You can't do any of this enough, so like right there, now ask him back in. Good. See how he's starting to kind of walk up for you?
Yeah.
Nice. Try that one more time this time, except just use your pressure on your lead rope. Try not even to use your hand. And just see if you can get him to come. Now just grip through the halter. There you go. That's really how you want it to be. You don't always want to have to be using your arm and all that. You want to, and then pretty soon, once he does that, you don't even have to do that. You just back him up and, just push him back and forth. There. See, now that's 0 resistance on that.
He's all.
There. See, you did see, he tried to do that on his own that time, and you just said, no, not yet. That'll keep his mind on you. He's starting to know where the back of the trailer is. He tiptoes and then he stops right at the edge. Nice. See how there was no resistance there?
Yeah.
And it really shouldn't matter now whether you put him in the front, middle, or the back.
Okay.
Because if this stall's closed, he should walk in and stand next to that. And I would, when you're going out with other people and stuff, don't always load him in the same place. Put him in all 3 different positions. Anytime you can make it really, really changing it up for him, he's just going to get used to all of it. A lot of people say, well, my horse gets jiggy if I ride in the back, so I have to be in the front. So they ride their whole life and they have to be in the front on a trail ride. You don't want that. No. You want to have them just be comfortable wherever.
Yeah.
And these are those little things, if you've got 30 minutes in a day, you just come and load him in a trailer and sit and pet him and then put him away if you want, It's just about getting him to where this is a great place for him.
It's where everything that happened at the beginning, that's where I get, loading him like this and stuff isn't too bad.
There, see, that's total respect right there.
No.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do it again and see if you can, every time you come around and come back up, he should get less resistant to you right there. Love that unloading. Super quiet.
Get your other leg.
You notice how all the head tossing's gone away and all the...
I'm going to throw my...
Yeah, I'm going to get away with this.
Yeah.
Just kiss to him right there. There you go. Very nice. Now that we've got him loading all the way, we don't ever want him to go halfway and then back out. So we got to be consistent with that. And I really think that if you'll do this every day for 2 or 3 days, that will go away.
Yeah.
In fact, even right now, I think if you pointed up there, he'd go. I think the whole thing with this is just to realize that when you got to have black and white cues. Once they've done it, you want to keep them going forward. You don't ever want them to say, okay, I'm going to back out now.
Yeah.
In the beginning, when you have a horse that you're trying to get to load, I actually like to get them halfway in, then unload them, halfway in, then load. Because sometimes you'll get a horse in, and if they've never got out before, I've seen horses stay in a trailer all night because they don't dare get out of the trailer. So that'll help them learn to back out without having a big fit. But definitely, once they've got in and gotten relaxed, you want to just make sure that they go all the way. So use whatever pressure on that back you have to. And we got after him a little bit today on the video. I had to snap him on the tail a couple times to get his respect, but you can see where he's at now.
Yeah.
So we always want to refine that and make it a comfortable thing for him. So So.
Well, he's definitely comfortable now. The divider too, you know.
Oh,
he
that's-
didn't know anything about the divider before that. I
Yeah.
could not shut it, and now
Yeah.
I can put him in and shut the
You can
divider.
see now, just by making it a comfortable thing for him, he's going, oh, this feels pretty good in here. So I'll do that for you. And he also was allowed to turn around and come out straight. Whoever trained the horse or whatever, they just whirl around and let him out. This is a 1,250 pound horse, and if he runs over you, it's not hard for him to get over the top of you. So now we've got him to, even though he's looking around like he wants to turn around, he's standing there for you. So lots of improvements with him today. And so now that we've been standing here for a second to kind of end the video, we'll show you. I think he'll just jump right back in, and you can go ahead and put him in the divider. So I don't know how he can do any better than that. And you got it down. You got the cues down now. You know kind of what you got to have out of him.
Yeah, he's comfortable. He's not stomping.
No.
He's not breathing hard.
Very nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah. If he would just be like this every day.
He will. We'll get him.